Right, Strictly Come Dancing. The competition is facing a crisis, really big one, after 2 male professional dancers faced accusations of bullying or abusive behaviour. Here's the famous titles. So Giovanni Pernice, first of all, under BBC investigation after actress Amanda Abbington quit partway through the 2023 season. We then also have, here we are, Graziano Di Prima, who was in the studio about 6 months ago. He's been sacked following complaints from his 2023 partner, the reality TV star Zara McDermott, who claims Graziano hit, kicked and spat at her during the rehearsals. Unbelievable. The Sun is now saying today a third pro has been identified as a person of interest. It sounds like some sort of American cop drama. BBC's responded by announcing new rules around rehearsals for the celebs, including always having a member of the production team present during training sessions. What a bore that would be. And also hiring a welfare producer for the celebrities and one for the professional dancers. This is a lot, Carole.
Do you know what? The hypocrisy of the BBC stuns me here. Oh. Well, it really does.
Well, because they're investigating it.
And I'll tell you why. Because they had complaints about both of these guys, both from the professional dancers and from contestants, and both times after they had complaints, they gave these contestants shiny new contracts. So to pretend now that they're taking it seriously, it really makes my
They certainly delayed on the Giovanni Pernice one, didn't they? They certainly sort of suggested Amanda Abbington had got it wrong. And then something changed. I think she went legal.
Before we go on, can we talk about Amanda Abbington just briefly? Because as a woman, she was mocked, she was ridiculed, she was made to look like she was an idiot for complaining about this. And at least she had the guts to take them on. She hired lawyers that were £700 an hour to take them on.
Well, the Daily Mail has taken the other side of it. The Daily Mail has done a whole thing saying, you know, this is all sort of kind of wokery and snowflakery.
It's not wokery when people kick and spit at you. That's not wokery.
But that's the other one.
I get the fact that the professional dancers might be a little bit, they might be frustrated with some celebrities who are only there to boost their profiles. I'm not pointing at you because you didn't need yours boosting, it was already there. And they're not trying hard. And I get why they might be cross about that. But there's a line between getting cross and pushing them hard and punching and kicking them.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, the punching and kicking is shocking if it happened. And what do you think?
It's highly pressured, so you can imagine a bit of foot stamping and sometimes harsh words. But if the professional dancer in any way is intimidating the partner, the celebrity, they've crossed a line, and you're not going to get the best out of them. And it's just wrong. The BBC was slow, I agree, but they seem now to be getting into gear and taking it seriously.
But they knew this was happening, Kevin. They knew it was happening, and they didn't want to rock the boat.
It's how much did they know? Because you always get disputes.
I'm sorry, but Graziano was twice issued with warnings, and he got a new contract. And what really makes me cross...
Are you talking about Giovanni or Graziano?
Graziano.
Okay.
Graziano, whatever he's called. He was issued with two warnings, and they gave him a new contract. And both of these men weren't fired. They were allowed to leave and resign. They should have had their backsides kicked off the show immediately.
All right. Let's bring in Ann Widdecombe here, because I think Ann, well, we should see Ann. Let's just prepare ourselves, Ann, for this by seeing you in action, if we can, with Anton. One of the great Strictly performances. Let's see you do the spin. And here it goes.
Hey.
That's actually slow motion. And, you are such a great sport, Ann Widdecombe. That's why we love you. So what do you make of this, reading these terrible stories, Anne?
Well, I'm sorry, I don't have much patience for 2 reasons. First of all, everything that you do when you are training is filmed and recorded, and there's usually 2 people there, both sound and camera, but always at least one. So there's already a third party in the room, and it's all on record. And if somebody's being kicked and punched, that should have been filmed. That's the first thing. The second thing is, amazingly as it may appear, it is the celebrity who's in control. You can say, sorry, I can't do any more today. And in fact, one of the professionals told me a story of how he drove all the way to Brighton for a training session with his celeb. And she said, oh, terribly sorry, I'm off to get a new bathroom. And we are actually in control. We can say, sorry, I'm worn out, I've had enough, can't do the thing you want me to do. Now, these are adults. I'd take a very serious view of this if these were kids. These are adults. What do they mean bullied? Why didn't they take action? And as for having a welfare person there, When I was there, somebody called Charlotte Oates was the celebrity booker, and she looked after us. And if we had a particular requirement, we went to see her. You know, it's nothing new. And the idea that you're going to have a chaperone for an adult.
Can we just interrupt you and say that the abuse wasn't just directed at the celebs? And I hear what you said, and I completely get that celebs were in charge. However, some of it was the professional dancers, and they didn't speak out because they were terrified of losing their jobs. And the people who did speak out were the kids who worked around them, who didn't like what was happening, and they reported the dancers. So a woman who was employed as a professional was frightened of losing her job.
Mm.
Well, the fact is, you know, I wouldn't have much patience with that either. And I don't think you lose your job if you make a justified complaint. But the person who should have been doing the complaining was the celebrity who was allegedly suffering this abuse.
Well,
that should have been where the complaint came from.
But Amanda Abbington did.
I mean, bear in mind that the reason...
But Amanda Abbington did make a complaint, Anne, and she was absolutely savaged in the media for making a complaint. She had rape threats.
And Amanda says that she had, you know, post-traumatic stress disorder, as if she'd been in a war. It's a dance competition. Grow up, everybody. Grow up.
And I mean,
brilliant.
I mean this nicely, Anne, but isn't everybody not like you, and you can stand up for yourself, and other people can be intimidated? It's rather like partners. Normally, women get trapped in an abusive relationship, and they feel they can't move away from a partner. If you're in Strictly Come Dancing, you've had all the PR and the glitz beforehand, you'd be desperate to stay in and probably not want to rock the boat. But some people get bad treatment. Now, you wouldn't stand for it, but other people, for whatever reason, and I'm not blaming them, might get bullied in a way you wouldn't. And you should be protected.
First of all, men are also bullied in abusive relationships. It's not totally unique to women. And men can also be afraid to move on, and that is an established fact. So let's just play the female card with this and the equality
It tends
card.
to be women.
But it tends to be women on the show.
People are pathetic if they can't say, you know, that their professional is treating them in a way. Why didn't she simply call a halt and say, until you behave better, I am not going on with this. And if you've got a problem, you go and you tell the producers what you're doing. Why would she do that?
OK, all right. That's a good question. Paul is in Greater Manchester. Paul, is the Strictly sparkle gone?
I certainly am, Jeremy. I absolutely love the show, and I even run a Strictly Facebook group and go watching the tours. I've met lots of the judges and met lots of the dancers over the years and the celebrities. It's just a brilliant show, and this will blow over. I mean, the Graziano, fair enough, it sounds like that's been serious, but the Giovanni situation is still ongoing. But actually, one way of solving this, because I was a big advocate for same-sex couples on Strictly, I spent years campaigning online to get them, and we finally got them. But the way to solve this is all the men dance with the men, and all the women dance with the women. What do the panels say?
Well, I think Anne has got a head in her hands is the answer to that. What the hell solution is that?
A ludicrous suggestion. You know, dancing is predicated usually on a man and a woman, and people expect to see that. They may expect to see the other as well, but they expect to see that. And, you know, it is a nonsense. And, you know, also there is the question of physical match. Men can lift women. They have that degree of strength. Very, very hard. For women to do the lifting.
I feel sorry. I'm feeling sorry for the... Yeah, go on.
About your time on there, because I think it's different. I think if you're a bloke dancing with a women partner, you're never going to get bullied. You're never going to get screamed and shouted at in the way a man dancing... a woman dancing with a professional
I don't know. I
mean,
I have nothing but praise for Karen, who I was with. I think she's absolutely amazing teacher, and she's the first to say she can be tough, but there's no problem with that. I want someone to be tough with me, as Anne says.
I mean, bullying in the same way as a guy can.
That's fair comment.
A woman's not going to kick you.
I don't think the solution is to say, Jeremy, you've got to have a male partner to stop you being bullied.
I think you're wrong there, Paul, because I think look, you need to tackle the problem. But do you think you said it'll blow over? Do you think it might increase interest in the next series of Strictly, that some people will tune in to see what it's all been about and how it's going to be handled, rather than taking the shine off Strictly? It could shine a bit stronger.
Well, there's no way it's going to go anywhere, because It's basically the television show of the autumn, and it's probably obviously Gladiators has made a bit of a comeback, but it's probably the last show that gets everybody, lots of families gathered around the television in the autumn to watch. And like you say, a bit of scandal can.
What about Paul? I'm just thinking, if everyone is going to get chaperoned now. You're going to rule out, sort of invidious to mention it, but do you remember that stolen kiss that happened between the brilliant woman who danced with their balls and the comedian? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I've just blanked, stupidly blanked.
No.
But I mean, that's part of what the show's about as well, isn't it, Anne? No.
No. In fact, it's about family entertainment. The greatest compliment I had paid to me while I was doing Strictly, and most of it wasn't worth any compliment at all, was when one woman stopped me at Paddington Station and she said to me that every time the programme came on, her 4-year-old son would say, "Where's that granny, mummy? I want that granny to win." And
Well,
of course,
we know.
you
were sensational.
Thank
you, Paul. Hang on, Christine in the West Midlands. Hi, Christine.
Hello, Jeremy. Hello, Carol and Kevin.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Well, what Strictly's in a bit of hot water, isn't it?
Well, I don't think so. I think it's right. It'll just bring more publicity and more people will probably watch it. But, no, the quality of dancing by contestants has vastly improved over the last few years, but it shouldn't be at the distress of the contestants for our public viewing.
Yeah.
So this is now the right move, I think, to protect contestants and maybe bring back more humour, such as Anne and as Ed Ball's Gangnam Style for our entertainment. I love Strictly, but the professionals should be encouraged to bring out the best of their partners, not look towards the trophy for themselves.
I feel for the professionals because I think they're clearly in a sticky position here.
Isn't it partly the public's fault? When I watch it now, I want to see perfection. I want to see magic. I want to see magic happen, and magic doesn't come with a few kind, reassuring words. I guess that would be the argument of the professionals who are pushing the dancers. Doesn't excuse them smacking.
I want to see fun,
we have a program.
We
have a program called "I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here," where they force feed celebrities with the genitals of goats.
Yes.
Is someone about to notice that that's happening as well? And there's going to be a big inquiry into that?
Well, there have been stories about exactly
because
that.
surely there's something of that in Strictly. We're going to put these celebrities through the ringer and we're going to see how they come out, if they come out as dancers, and it's going to be hard.
But I think what they do now is, when Anne was there, I mean, it was just great value and people tuned in to watch to see what was going to happen to her. They're not having as many of the Annes in now. They're trying to get the perfect dancers in now. And that's not, I think, what it's all about.
No,
it's not.
I think it can be demanding, Jeremy, and they should be demanding, but then you cross a line.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And I feel sorry now, the spotlight's on all the dancers, and they won't all have been up to no good, but those who were have to be treated. They should never have been in that position in the first place, but it has to be dealt with.
It's interesting, these two guys...
Sorry, just one second. Forgive me, Carol, I keep interrupting.
Okay.
Christine, thank you. Joan in Hertfordshire, hi. Hi, Joan.
Hi, hello, Carol.
Hello.
Hi.
Go on, has it lost its sparkle?
Yes, I think it has. I think it's become way too competitive and less of a family show. The allegations of bullying are really, really sad, indicative of our times. But why can't we return back to how it was? Using British professionals for a British show, your Ian Waite, your Matthew Cutlers, your Neil Jones, your Kevin Cliftons. We've got so many. Why can't we showcase the British professionals who might not be at the top of their game, but they understand. They're slightly kinder. It's slightly less pressure, I feel.
Yes, I go back to the sort of shambling amateur days. I mean, it's amazing. I think Chris Hollins win it. Now, he's not a dancer, but he won it. People liked him, and he learned a bit, and he got better. And I think Susanna Reid nearly won it. I don't know if they would win it now.
Natasha Kaplinsky won it. She was a newsreader at the time.
Kaplinsky was a great dancer.
Interesting that both of these guys went to the same training school. They went to a school called Team Diablo, which is obviously like a tough training school.
The clue's in the name. The thing is that a lot of them, the male dancers, have been really put through it as kids, and I'm not making excuses for it. But you know, one of them I know who's not caught up in this was knocked around by his dad to learn to dance. If he got the move wrong, they'd use a cane on him.
Yeah, and I think that can impact on how you behave, and you've got to break the cycle where you get that in a family. But these dancers on TV, it's probably the peak of their career in terms of earning potential, what you get paid, what you can get on the back of it. But they're all chosen for their personalities as well as their dancing ability, which is the same with the contestants.
And it's become very lookist, I think. I mean, those two guys, very, very handsome guys, very attractive guys, and it shouldn't be like that.
Very what was the word you used? It's become very what?
Lookist.
Lookist.
Yeah, just.
Anne and I would disagree with that. Anne, we were never on for our looks.
You two weren't. No, but the dancers.
Well, certainly I wasn't on for my looks.
I don't think I was either.
No, I'm talking about the
what is this word lookist? It's not going to be another horrible woke thing, is it?
Yeah, it's Carole's gone woke, everyone.
It's used all the time.
What she means is eye candy in your language.
Yes, but I'm not talking about the contestants.
So you're saying that Kevin Clifton is a classic British dancer, but then you get Giovanni and you've got sort of... Yes, OK.
Which is maybe why he got away with what he got away with.
If he got away with anything. Thank you.
Not now.
The legals on this. And thank you so much, and always good to see those copies of Hansard.